Here. All right, this next article here, written by Mr. Jeff Campman. Logitech introduces MX Master Mouse for office domination. This is a really sexy mouse. It's $100. The MX Master. It's a high-end mouse for business and office users, coming to a product placement in a Tony Stark related movie soon. Wow, Jeff, what makes it worth $100?
Well, I think partially it's just because it's their nicest mouse, but it's also got some pretty neat features in it, like the scroll wheel. Like most mice have a clicky scroll wheel or a smooth scroll wheel. Like Logitech's better mice can switch between that kind of ratcheted
Love that
feel.
feature. Yeah.
Yeah, and it not only that ratcheted feel and like a smooth scrolling really fast thing for like going through all 65,000 rows in an Excel spreadsheet really fast. But this thing can not only do that, but it can also like predict what kind of scrolling you want based on the input you give it. Like if you scroll it
Oh,
really hard, it'll actually go into free spinning mode and it'll stay in. You can like tap it to stop it and it'll go back into that ratchety mode.
wow.
Yeah, so that's I mean that's like I think that's cool.
That is
Um,
kind of cool, actually.
and
I've
then
actually used that other. I don't have the mouse working right now because I threw away my Bluetooth adapter, which is the story I told a while back. But I actually have used that infinite scroll feature, and I like that quite a bit. And then I like being able to click, 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 and then go back and forth.
and then it's got like another scroll wheel under your thumb, and they say that that's mapped to like left and right scroll out of the box, but you can switch
Nice.
it to do other things. So that's, I guess, again, like if you have to do that a lot, it's nice to have that under your thumb rather than
Yeah.
having to move your hand over to the arrow keys or like click and hold a scroll bar. Um, like the other thing, I guess people are getting excited about is that you can pair this. I mean, like it can pair with up to 3 devices. Like natively, it just like remembers those pairings, and you can move it between computers without like carrying an adapter with you because it's a Bluetooth mouse. Um, so that I guess is neat. Like if you move between a laptop and a desktop at work, or you
Hmm.
have to take the mouse on the road with you, like you don't have to repair it every time. You can just switch over to different profiles.
I'm
Um,
most excited about dark field laser tracking.
What
yeah,
is
I
that?
mean, well, I mean, I guess that's Logitech's fancy name for just what we would just say, duh, that's a laser mouse. But it this, like all lasers, I guess this can track on glass. So long as it's of a certain thickness, it can track on transparent surfaces, it can track on your leg, it can track on anything. So I guess that's the idea behind that feature. It's just, you can use it anywhere.
Hmm.
Like we'll
This is
talk about
interesting.
these EVGA mice in a minute, but like the optical mouse I have here from EVGA actually can't track on my white desk. It gets all jittery. So I mean, it sounds silly, but it is actually a concern.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so,
actually not sure we're gonna talk about the EVGA review. I haven't made up my mind, but we'll get there.
yeah, we'll see. But
Um, no, I'm thinking about it in the back. I'm still like, no, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
so like the other reason this is $100, I guess, is because they took a block of wood and carved the mold for the mouse out of this block of wood.
It's an expensive block of wood.
Yeah, and they made the molds from that, so you know that the mouse you're holding it was filed to its final shape by a Logitech craftsman or something.
Yeah.
I don't really
So
understand that. Like, how is
no,
that
I don't
better than
either.
doing it in clay or any other
Or a
material
3D
besides trying to make
printer,
it look
or
artisanal? Like it's not a
Yeah.
wooden mouse or anything.
No.
I think the head of design went to a wood shop annex course over at the local community college and was like, guys, I have the idea. I have the idea for us. Now this is one of those mice that you look at and you realize it's really designed, at least from what I can see, it's designed to sort of move your whole hand with the mouse.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm always been the kind of like I always kind of like I like to anchor my wrist and then just move my fingers. How do you guys fall on that? I
I
go that way.
like
I'm the same
for,
way.
for
As
the
me,
longest
Scott?
time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I gripped it in my palm. I'm gripping in my mouse in part of my palm right now. So I mean, that's kind of natural for me.
Interesting. So when you move your mouse, your whole forearm moves.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And Scott, you're
Freaky.
saying you're like me. You rest your wrist, and your forearm stays still.
Yeah, I'm moving it with my fingers. Unless I have to go a longer distance, then I'll lift up and move
Right.
the whole arm. But if I can get away with it,
Right.
I'm barely moving. Like it's
Yeah,
like one of those guys who
you
plays Wii games where he's like running like this on the couch. It's
Jeff-
whatever's the
Jeff
least
Gager,
effort.
Where do you stand on that one?
I just move my wrist. Yeah, there's no big
See,
sweeping
Scott,
arm
one of my
movement.
theories is that the fact that I have to anchor my wrist makes me fundamentally bad at FPSs. I'm okay at FPSs, but what happens is that if I'm moving and I go past where my wrist can sort of articulate, my whole arm isn't able to move. I'm being totally serious. It can trip you up because you're trying to do a quick movement, but you kind of run out of runway because you're kind of all within this range, you know? Look at the camera, folks.
Yeah.
Here we go, right here. And then if you want to move, you got a little bit of takeoff space, and you got to remove your carriage, and then kind of come up. But it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you can use like acceleration or super sensitive
Right.
mouse or crank up the sensitivity to like get around that, but then your precision isn't good. Like the FPS pros are playing like usually a lot of them is like super low sensitivity, and they have like these big swiping motions to move so that they can
Right.
be real
Right.
precise. And
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy.
yeah,
Um,
I don't do that. Like I'm not a pro.
No, I'm definitely not a pro either.